Okay, and it's ready when you are.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Douglas Hemphill. I'm one of the instructional designers on campus, and today we're going to learn about the Brightspace Media Library. Generally speaking, there's four ways to get videos into your Brightspace course. You can link out to a service like YouTube. You can upload a video directly to Brightspace. You can upload a video to Panopto, or now you can upload it to the Brightspace Media Library. YouTube has permission issues if you don't want your material to be public. Uploading the material directly into the course means it's copied every semester, so it ends up using an enormous amount of space on our servers, which we do pay for. And Panopto has some permission issues where you have to update things every semester. Plus, if you're using a particular course folder, that course folder will eventually be sunset. So the media library gets around a lot of these problems. So as of now, our recommendation for putting videos in, at least for videos that you create, is using the media library. Now, to access the media library, we just go to the cog, and it may or may not show up on your pinned materials. If you don't see it, simply go to all, and you should see it there. And you can pin it there so that it shows up on your initial screen. From there, we just click the link, and we see all of the assets that we have in our media library. And you can organize things. So if you want to set aside a folder for a specific course, you can create a folder, simply give it a name, and you're good to go. Otherwise, we just want to add assets. And there are two ways to add assets. You can record directly in in the media library, or you can upload a file. Uploading a file is simply a case of dragging and dropping. So you would click to browse, and you would get a little pop-up window that allows you to navigate to wherever you have your videos. And then you simply drag and drop. If I want to record something, I simply say whether I want to record audio or video, and it does it directly in the browser, so you don't have to download a client like you did with Panopto. I'm not going to demonstrate this because I'm using my webcam for the presentation, so it won't actually work well. But it's as simple as clicking one of these buttons. Once I upload a video, it'll show up on my assets. And the one thing I do want to do is go to Edit and go to Closed Captions and tell it that I want to auto-generate captions. And that will take a little bit of time. So just be aware of that. Yeah, Scott, I did want my screen to be shared. Is it not sharing?
No.
Hmm.
It is shared on my end.
It says I'm screen sharing.
Okay, now
So are you
I
seeing
see it
it now,
now.
Scott?
Good. It's there now. Yep.
Okay, so basically what I did up to this point is I went to the cog, I went to the media library, and you can see the option to add assets, which is all pretty self-explanatory. The main thing is once the asset is uploaded, so in this case, I uploaded the example video, is to use these three dots to go to edit it. And then you've got this little closed caption tab off to the right. And you can simply auto-generate the captions. Now, in this case, I'm not going to get much in the way of captions because this video that I use as an example doesn't have speech in it, but the captions are reasonably accurate and you can go in and add them. Sorry, edit them. Right there. And you have options for actually doing more in-depth editing, but usually that's not necessary. Usually I let it auto-generate and then I go back in and just make sure that it makes sense. So once I have a video in my media library, I can simply go into the course that I want that video to be in. And go to wherever I want it in the course. And what I'm going to do is create a file. And then I use the insert stuff icon, the one that looks like a play, pause, record, stop button from an old style VCR. And I have the media library right there as a choice. And so from there, I simply see all of the videos that I've uploaded. I can search them if I need to, but in this case, my video is right on the top. So I'm going to select it and click Next. And it's going to ask me what size it is. 640 is a good size. 1240 is the other size that you might use. And then I simply insert it. And once I save and close it, once I give it a title and save and close it, I have my video uploaded and it plays right in the embedded frame. And if I want to turn on subtitles, I simply go to the cog and make sure that my captions are on. Now, because it is a play, pause, start button, I can import it anywhere that I have that command strip for the text box. So I can put videos into tests. I can put them into homework assignments, basically anywhere that I have that text editor box. And that is really the media library. It's not all that complicated. And the only other thing to be aware of is that if I want to rename stuff or edit the description, those are individual options. So I know this is a short presentation, but that's really all there is to it. So are there any questions? Okay, well, that's all I have.
Thanks, Doug.
Thanks for coming, Jay.
Bye.